Alright, so hello and welcome. Here we are again. Sorry about that. I kind of left the stream running before, and so I deleted that VOD. That was not really the right thing to do. Yeah, I was supposed to be actually actively studying and programming, but I wanted to talk to a friend of mine. So, alright, I haven't spoken to in a long time. So let's get back to what we were doing. So we were talking about JavaScript. We can, so the in, right, so in sets, we're looking for the set, look at all these things now. The set operations has value, it looks like. Okay, so we could do has, but are there other, add, clear, delete, has. It doesn't tell you what the runtime complexity is for these methods. Like, I don't think sets in JavaScript are necessarily the most efficient thing. I don't actually know, but I have this uncomfortable, feeling. So keys, values, entries for each. So has is what we're looking for. So if we go back, we probably shouldn't have all these open. I intend to read these. So value set dot has C. Then we're going to say vowels dot push C. Otherwise consonants dot push C. And then at the end we're going to for const C of vowels push. We could actually do, this works too, for each, right? We're going to say function console.log of, let's say x or C, x, something like this, vowels, and for consonants. Something like this should work. D2 loops. In this challenge, we practice looping over the characters of a string. Oh, are these the same thing? These are the same one. Let's see if it works. I keep day 1 functions. Next challenge. Day 7, regular expressions 1. Okay. Going all over the place. In this challenge, we use a regular expression to evaluate a string. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. Complete the function in the editor below by returning a regular expression object RE that matches any string S that begins and ends with the same vowel. Recall that the English vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Length of the string S is greater than or equal to 3. String S consists of lowercase letters only, A through Z. The function must return a regular expression object that matches any string S beginning with and ending with in the same vowel. Sample input BCD, false. String starts with and ends with in a consonant, so it cannot start and end with the same vowel. Okay. So we just need to make sure it starts and ends with the same character, and then that character is a vowel. So you can do, oh, but we want to use a regular expression to do that? I mean, okay. All right. Sure. So, regex libraries in JavaScript. Okay, so the literal notation, pattern is an argument, literal is first argument, regular expression, literal. So compilation of the regular expression when the expression is evaluated. Use literal notation when the regular expression will remain constant. Example, use literal notation to construct a regular expression using a loop. Won't be recompiled on each iteration. Constructor of the regular expression object, for example, results in runtime compilation of the regular expression. Use the constructor function when you know the regular expression pattern will be changing or you don't know the pattern and obtain it from another source such as user input. Okay. Flags the constructor. No longer throws a type error. Can't supply flags when constructing for another when the first argument is regexp. Second flag's argument is present. A new regexp from the arguments is created instead. Interesting. When using the constructor function, the normal escape rules preceding the special characters with. I'm kind of skipping through this because I don't necessarily know what these things are, and I also don't necessarily need them for what I'm doing right now. Following are equivalent. Oh, okay. That's kind of nice. Perl-like regexp option properties. Note that several of the regexp regular expression properties have both long and short Perl-like names. Both names always refer to the same value. Perl is the programming language for which JavaScript models its regular expressions. By the way, Perl regular expressions I think are really bad, as an aside. So you kind of don't want to use the JavaScript or Perl regular expressions if you can, compared to I think the grep regular expressions. I think there's some article on it from way back when how they're compiled. It's actually not very good the way they do the Perl regular expressions, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong about that. String that contains the flags of the regular expression objects. .flags, .all, .all. Global has indices. What am I looking at? Oh, compile, execute, test, match. Can we see examples? Yeah. String.replace. So you just do RE. That's it. Split different lines, split lines, different lines endings, split with regex. So you use regex pretty. Please, yes, make my day. Yes, day, match, yes. Alright, fine. Oh, okay. So it matches, and there should be, actually we need the regex engine. Want to use back capturing. Yeah, there is a, what do they call that? A back, I forget what they're called. Groups. Yeah, we want a group, and then we got to use a back. Excuse me. Some functions that take those as arguments. There's a name. It's called a back reference, I think. So flags you can use to modify things. I don't know if this needs to be case insensitive. I don't think so. Back references. Oh wow, look at that. Whoa. Looking for the back references and I don't have it, huh? Oh, okay, first captured group. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, captured groups. Doesn't talk about it, alright, that's fine, whatever, not a big deal. Follows Perl specifications, so I guess we don't need to get too crazy about this. So basically, we're going to say A, E, I, O, U, end. That's at the start. And at the end, could be anything else except this first captured group needs to also be there. All right, try that. Compilation error. Octal escape sequences are not allowed in strict mode. fairly certain I saw. Excuse me. Oh, nope, that's not what I meant to do. Not what I meant to do either. Oh no. Oh. Oh boy. What? Oh yeah, there it is. Backslash. Oh, I see. There are no. Ah. That's the way to do it. Okay. Got it. Runtime error. Re is not defined. What? Excuse me. What does this do? Re is regexvar. So does this not work? Oh, I think that's the problem. There we go. See how we do. Today we're discussing JavaScript functions. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. Implement a function named factorial that has one parameter, integer n. It must return the value of n factorial, i.e. n factorial. Locked stub code in the editor reads a single integer n from standard in, passes it into a function named factorial. The function must return the value of n factorial. Okay, sure. Factorial of n, read line, use strict. Alright, set up our input. Interesting, also sets the encoding for the standard in, resume. Neat. Okay, so function factorial, and we want, what do we want to return? I don't think you specify the return type in JavaScript. So you have n. We can do this recursively. We can also use a for loop. So for int I equals 1, I is less than or equal to n, plus plus I, red equals 1. Oh, it's not int. There are no ints in, do you say let? I don't know. Let I equal 1. And ret times equals I. Yeah, JavaScript is interesting. Let's go for it. I don't know if there's more an idiomatic way of doing that. There might be. Okay, second star. Great. Try, catch, and finally. And this. Okay, so a more idiomatic way. Like they have ranges in JavaScript. Like the way they have. Wow, I have way too many tabs open. Question is, do they have ranges in JavaScript the way that they have ranges in ranges like they have in Ruby? I don't know what this is. Can I see examples? Document, create range. Oh, we don't really need that. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Java and other languages, you don't have a document in other languages. I don't know, I guess I'll look it up. So I'll just say idiomatic for loop JavaScript. I don't actually know. Okay, anyway. I didn't really see much of an answer. Ruby has like you can create like an object you iterate over, but we're just gonna use a for loop. It's fine. I think this is fine. We'll just go with this then. All right, try, catch, and finally. In this, get the same one, huh? To pick one. In this challenge, we learn about strings and exceptions. Check out the attached tutorials for more details. Complete the reverse function. It has one parameter s. You must perform the following actions. Try to reverse string s using the split, reverse, and join methods. If an exception is thrown, catch it and print the contents of the exception's message on a new line. Print s on a new line. If no exception was thrown, then this should be the reverse string. If an exception was thrown, this should be the original string. Lock stub code in the editor returns variable s from standard in and passes it to the function. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to split, reverse, and join. All right, let's try it. So try, catch, exception, or just E. JavaScript doesn't have. It has duck typing. Or doesn't have static types. So try s.split, which I think is just split dot reverse. No. There's a way to reverse. I think JavaScript has. Yeah, just reverse. That's it. Reverse. And join. That's it. Just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there you go. Just join. It's got to be a way to create an array with just elements 0 to I guess. Fill. I don't know, maybe not. That's interesting. It's fine. I don't think we need to go into too much. Try so hard to figure that out. What else? Like I said, Ruby you can just have a range from 1 to n, and the factorial for Ruby is like very clear. I guess very straightforward. So yeah. So if we catch, we just return. I think. Something like this. I don't know. In this challenge, we learn about switch statements. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. Complete the getLetters function. In the editor, it has one parameter, a string s, consisting of lowercase alphabetic letters, i.e. A through Z. It must return A, B, C, or D, depending on the following criteria. If the first character in string s is in the set A, E, I, O, and U, then return A. If the first character in string s is in the set B, C, D, F, G, return B. C, return D, A, B, C, D. You can get the letter at some index I in S using the syntax S of I or S character at I. Excuse me. Oh. Okay. So, can you do this? I think so. This just means it doesn't change const. So switch. What do we want to do? Oh, wrong answer. No kidding. That's interesting. Split is not a function. How come didn't catch this? That's interesting. A little confused. S contains lowercase English alphabetical letters, A through Z only. First character is A. It's in this set. Turn A as our answer. Could create sets for each of these, I guess. Set 1, set 2, set 3. So const S1 we'll say equals new set of A, E, I, O, and U. I don't know if there's a way to do it, by the way. Actually, I should look at the switch statements before I start messing around with that. So what is... How come this try is not catching anything, by the way? Why is that happening? I guess I'll look at both. So we can do try catch. I guess these. Excuse me. Also, I gotta respond to my friend. I see a text from him, but I just want to focus on this briefly. Excuse me. We're looking for try and catch. That one. And the other one is switch. We say switch statement of value to an expression, matching the expression's value to a case clause, execute statements associated with that case, as well as statements in cases that follow the matching case. So we have expression. So what's interesting about the cases is these aren't like Ruby cases though. Multi-case, that's what we're looking for. Oh. That's not really what we want to do. That's interesting. That's really peculiar. So you can case 0. We'll say, so what is your, we'll go to all the way down to, so what is your name? I'll trigger all of those. Oh, so block scoping. Interesting. So it's interesting, the if-else is probably better for this. I actually would probably use if-else for this, for this problem. Like each of these, I'd put these in sets and use an if-else for each one. Attached tutorial. Where's the attached tutorial? What do you mean there's an attached tutorial? What attached tutorial? I don't see an attached tutorial. You see an attached tutorial? What are they talking about? Oh, here we go. Switch conditional statements, yeah. In my opinion, this wasn't the best way to do this. Yeah, I guess that's what they're looking for. I would do if else for this. I wouldn't use. I wouldn't have done it this way. Oh, that's fine. So we'll use the switch statement for it, but I think actually using sets would be better, and using if else, it's a little bit cleaner. This is kind of messy. There's like probably going to be 26 different case statements here, just like B, C, D, F, G. B, C, D, F, G. This one is H, J, K, L, M, H, J, K, L, M. So 1, 2, 3 in the fourth one. N, P, Q, R, S, T. N, P, Q, R, S, T. V, W, X, Y, Z. Yeah, I definitely would have just broken this up into sets. But that's not what we're going to do. I have 26 case statements, so switch on an expression letter, and we're going to case A, E, I, O, U, E, I, O, U, and that's going to do something and break. I don't know what that's going to do. What's the idea? A, oh yeah, A, B, C, and D, okay. You don't need to, yeah. Okay. Case A. Next one is B, C, D, oops. B, C, D, F, G. C, D, F, G. B, these are characters, I think. And the default, I don't think we just return. Actually, make this last one the default, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, there should be 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, excuse me, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so actually default's going to be D. This actually wasn't too bad. I thought that was going to be worse. And the last thing we have is HJKLM. 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 All right. We don't actually need this anymore, I think. Hopefully it'll compile. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. So we have to look at the try catch. Error. Console.error. Oh, okay. So I think that's correct. Can't just log the error? How about that? Alright, so that was pretty simple, the case statements. That's fine. I think it's still easy. It would have been easier to use sets and use if else's. That's okay. We'll just go to the next one. I don't know, man. This doesn't seem to be doing what I was expecting. Why wouldn't this work? I guess is my question. Like, how does the try catch work? One or more statements must always be used. At least one catch block or finally block must be present. This gives us 3 forms of the try statement. Try, catch, finally. There's one catch block or finally block. Okay. Catch block contains statements that specify what to do if an exception is thrown in the try block. If any statement within the try block throws an exception, control is immediately shifted to the catch block. No exception is thrown. Finally block will always execute after the try block, and catch blocks have finished executing. You can nest one or more try. So I'm kind of confused with what's going on over here. Also, this we should probably update to another challenge. Why are we getting problems? Like, what is even going on here? You can just do try, catch, exception, and we'll say let ret equal s, return ret, console.log, hello world. Hello world 2, return s. What happens if we do this? Unconditional catch block. Any exception is thrown within the try block for exception. The exception occurs in the following code. Control transfers to the catch block. It specifies an identifier E in the example above that holds the value of the exception. This value is only available in the scope of the catch block. Conditional catch blocks. E instance of quote-unquote conditional catch blocks by combining these with if-else structures. Oh yeah. I remember reading this or seeing this way back when. I thought it was interesting. Alright, so we have hello world, and we have, but let's throw an exception. Okay, what does that do? Oh, message. Exception is not defined. How do you create a new exception object? Somewhere around here should be exceptions. Built-in objects. A, B, C, D, E. I don't know. There we go. Exception. How do we throw an exception? Except, throw, exception, throw. Let's try throw. Let's do that. User defined exception. Execution will stop. Throw will be executed. Or after will stop. The statements after throw won't be executed, and control will be passed to the catch block and the call. If no catch block exists, program will terminate. Throw expression. Throw. Oh. Throw an object. Oh, okay. You can throw whatever you want in JavaScript. That's astounding. So you can just throw that. See what happens. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So what was the issue? So if we say s dot split let, so what does this do? Let's go to our arrays. Is there no split? Oh, let's try string. Split. Array of strings. So when you split, you'll just get the characters. So you can do something like that. You can say split dot reverse dot join, right? And what is this? What happens if we do this? In this challenge, we learned about arrays. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. I need to get food. I need to eat. I need to go to bed. The get second largest function in the editor below. Get second largest has the following parameters: int nums n, an array of integers. Int the second largest number of nums. First line contains integer n, the size of the nums array. Second line contains n space separated numbers that describe the elements in nums. So there's a couple ways to do this. You can do quick select. That's one approach to get the second order statistic, which I don't remember exactly how that. Oh no, actually no, I know how it works. Quick select performs. Quick sort performs quick select recursively on. You get a pivot, random pivot, and the left side and the right side you recurse to on a partition around a pivot. Quick select, on the other hand, only traverses down one side or the other until you get the element you're looking for. So, yeah, quick select and quick sort are quite interesting. Quite interesting, but yeah, there's a partition routine, and yeah, I actually could probably program that if I needed to. But the thing is, if you use random pivots, they're expected to be linear in n log n, but you need to use median of medians in order to ensure that you get, in terms of to select your pivots in order to get the to guarantee the best bounds. I actually don't know median of medians offhand. I don't think you're really expected to. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, you can use quick select here. There's also another way to find the second largest here. Int nums n. Alright, well, probably how I would do this is second largest param nums the array of numbers. Second largest number in the array. You could actually just keep track of two numbers. Largest, second largest. Both of those will start off at nums of 0 and nums of 1. And we'll say for x of nums, it's a const, if x is greater than largest, then largest, we'll say second largest, then equal to x, and, or excuse me, is equal to largest, and largest equals x. I think that's all you need to do, is just update second largest to whatever our largest was, and update largest equal to x. And is there min and max in, I think there's an edge case here. Minimax, min and max, it should be min and max. It's in CSS. Don't have a minimum in JavaScript. No, you don't. Really? Don't have a minimum function in JavaScript? That's kind of annoying. Well, okay, I guess. Actually, let's go back. We're going to swap these two. Do we have a swap in JavaScript? No, there's no swap either. Nope. Alrighty. Temp equals largest. Largest equals second largest. Second largest equals largest. Yeah. And return second largest. Alright, let's go for that. So what is going on with this? Type error. S.split is not a function. So what's weird about this is there's a catch here though. Why would need to do each one by one? Is that the problem? Because that's not really how I would expect these things to work. My exceptions don't seem to be oh, maybe that's why. Maybe it just can't. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just the way I'm trying to do this, it just won't work this way. C before initialization. Oh. Yeah, some of these errors, I guess even if you catch them, they won't work. Let's start going. Okay, my output. So the second. This is still going. Oh, it was the wrong answer. Nice. So we set largest the first, second largest the second. If largest is smaller than second, temporary variable to largest, set largest to the second largest, and then set the second largest to the largest. So swap these. Actually, oh, that's why. That's supposed to be temp. I don't know if that's the issue, but so now what is going on here? Are we supposed to print it or return it? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I see the problem. Okay, got it. Very confused. So we're just supposed to print this. I thought this was, yeah, okay, I see the issue. And what is the second one? Print both, I guess. S on a new line. If there's an exception, print the exception, otherwise print S. Alright, let's try that. See how that goes. Okay, so this is wrong. Why is this wrong though? Well, I think, so you get these two, the first two shouldn't do anything, right? Because X is going to be smaller than largest. Oh, it doesn't have to be, it could be larger than second largest. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So if it's, yeah, there's, okay, so else if X is larger than second largest, then we're going to set second largest equal to X. Yeah, it's kind of a subtle thing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, type error. Oh. Oh, it is printing. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. No, we're fine. Okay, I misunderstood. So this is working the way that I thought it would. Okay, neat. So we do s.split.reverse.join, and this should be eat up message, I think. I think it's just that message, something like that. So this is just wrong. I mean, I don't want to use quick select. I don't think JavaScript has quick select kind of built in. Yeah, this is not, doesn't really have those algorithms built in. No. I mean, you could sort if you wanted to. You could do that too. There's that. I don't really want to sort it though. Wrong answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What does reverse do in the arrays? Reverse is the order. Reverse is in, so it's in place. That's why it doesn't actually return any arrays. That's why this isn't working. Oh, it does. How come it's not working? I'm so confused. What does join return? I'm actually really confused. What are each of these things? So actually there is an array. So this is array join, really. Very confused. Oh, maybe I need a character. Maybe that's the issue. No, join separator. Oh, it'll be with commas if it's omitted. Ah, it's very subtle. Okay, I see the issue. I was trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know why this would be incorrect. And I also see the object that I was throwing was printing to the console, so I didn't realize. I thought it wasn't being caught, because that's usually what happens if you get the whole thing. Then it's printing. Wait, this is just wrong. This is interesting. Okay, so x is larger than. Okay, let's do it the other way around. So x is larger than second largest. Then we set the second largest equal to x. And then if x is, well, no, it's got to be the other way. I think I have this right. If x is greater than the largest, then the second largest becomes the largest, and then the largest becomes x. Right, they get shifted down. Assuming that's the case, right? Yeah, it's the second largest so far. If x is not larger than largest, but it is larger than second largest, you update second largest to x. But x could be equal to largest. Aha. Right. And x is less than largest. So x is equal to largest. Yeah, okay, I think that's the issue. There we go. All right, let's go for it. This might not be correct, by the way. And this one's still wrong. Oh no. Wait, what? Okay, this one's right. All right, got it. That's, yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Probably you want to use quick select, or you want to use, or just sort it and pick two elements. That's a little bit easier. What is going wrong? No. I'm so confused. Did the reverse not do anything? Wait, how? What is going on? Utterly confused. Not at all what I was expecting. Okay, try catching finally. I think we already did this one. Oh, we're on it now. Yeah. Kind of stuck on it for some reason. Throw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, oh, that's interesting. Huh. I think that's why this split didn't actually split this into anything. So I think split you need, that might be why. I think that is why. It's the same, yeah, I see the problem. Okay, got it. Got it, that makes sense. The reason is, so because you need to give an empty character for split in order to actually split those characters. If you give an empty character for split, the default I think is a comma, so it doesn't split the way you'd expect. And then here, now that's interesting too. Again, the default gives you, okay, so the split and the join on JavaScript and Ruby is slightly different. That's a very subtle thing. That's what I kept getting messed up on. All right, throw. I think my friend texted me again. I should respond to him soon. In this challenge, we practice throw and catch, work with custom error messages. Complete the isPositive function below. It has one integer parameter a. If the value of a is positive, it must return the string yes. Otherwise, it must throw an error according to the following rules. If a is 0, throw an error with message 0 error. If a is negative, throw an error with message equals negative error. Interesting. Input locked stub code in the editor reads the following input from standard in and passes each value of a to the function as an argument. The first line, let me just see how we're doing. Yeah, I think my voice is kind of low, so I should maybe turn this up a little bit because I'm kind of whispering somewhat. I keep my voice low because I don't really need to speak that loud. Okay, so isPositive function below, it has one integer parameter a. If the value is a, it's positive, return the string yes. Otherwise, throw an error according to the rules. 0, negative, lock stub code. First line is n. Number of times we're going to call it. Each line contains an integer denoting some a. Okay, so I think I understand. Sure. So that's kind of handled. The input's kind of handled anyway. isPositive message. So the message we want to throw. So we just say if a is greater than 0, return, or yeah, return, right? I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, what's return is what they're going to use. So return a, else if a is less than 0. I think you do need the commas, or not the commas, we're going to use the 3 cool. I don't really know what that means, but I think in JavaScript you want to use 3 cool. 0 error. Now, are you printing the message or just printing the E? Oh, yeah, you do need E, but you don't message. I think we need to create a new runtime error, something like that, or just error. I think it's how it goes. Yeah. Else, if it's a negative, right? These are the only options left. It looks something like this. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so we can go to the next challenge. Presumably throwing. Okay, let's go to some random one down here. We have a lot to go, huh? We got kind of hung up. Oh no. Oh, it should be yes. Okay. Complete the function in the editor below by returning a regular expression object RE that matches every integer in some string s. Like the string s is greater than 3. The string contains at least one integer. The function must return every integer in some string s. Following array. It's time for bed. Time to sleep. Example input 1, 2, 3, output 1, 2, 3. Call array results. Must all let RE be all occurrences, huh? Well, 0 to 9. Is that every digit, or is that 102, 19? I mean, it's something like this. I don't know. What are they? How are they using it? R equals match log. Only matches the first. Oh, I guess it does something like this. Ah, yeah. Okay, that should do it. So, well, it could be you match this, actually, and then you match this any number of times. I don't know what this. Well, that's not quite right. That gives you 2 groups, but really you're matching over any any number of characters in between, and you're going to match this. This will print everything, right? Oh no. A single regex that does this? Oh, I think I know. Something like this. Yeah, there we go. That's very subtle, but that flag means basically like keep matching. Let me see what my friend had to say. I just happen to know that offhand. Alrighty, hey, let's keep going. Oh, this worked too. Did I submit this one? I don't think I did. Throw. We want to go to the next one. Next challenge. Alrighty, inheritance. So we have, quickly read what my friend said. Okay, yep. Scheduling with my friend. Functions at the end by returning a regular expression object that matches any strings S satisfying both the following conditions. S starts with the prefix Mr., Mrs., Mrs., Dr., or ER. Remainder of string S. The rest of the string after the prefix consists of one or more upper and or lowercase, lower English alphabetic letters. The function must return a regex B object that matches any string S satisfying both the given conditions. Mr. X, true. Mrs. Y, true. Dr. Joseph, false. Okay. Yeah, this one's not too bad. So you would say starts with, right? Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. or Dr. or ER. Alright, what does that look like? In this challenge, we practice implementing inheritance and use JavaScript prototypes to add a new method to an existing prototype. Check out the reattached classes tutorial to refresh what we've learned about these topics. Provide the implementation of a rectangle class in the editor. Perform the following tasks. Add an area method to the rectangle's prototype. Create a square class that satisfies the following. It is a subclass of rectangle. Oh no, this is Liskov substitution. It's like the classic problem. It's very funny. Also, yeah, you guys get to hear that noise. I think I'm gonna give myself another like 30 minutes here, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it didn't work. Let's see. True. Oh, these are, that's why. These need to be escaped. Okay, yeah, Liskov substitution, you don't want to do it this way. You don't want to have squares subclass of rectangles. Subclass of rectangle contains a constructor and other methods. You can use the rectangle class area method to print the area of a square object. Locked code in the editor, test the class implementation methods. Yeah, this is not the way. It's not the way. So, our code that adds an area method to the rectangle class prototype. class. Oh. Oh. Interesting. I don't remember. I don't actually know how to do that in JavaScript. I have to look that one up. Mr. X. Sorry? Excuse me? False. Should be true. Mr. X. What is this then? Isn't this exactly... I am very confused. Also that one. Yeah, we need to look and see. Alright, let's see. It'll probably take me a while to find exactly what they're describing. Functional classes. Normal JavaScript function, create an object by using the keyword. Find properties and methods for create object using this keyword. Oh, I see. Function. Fruit. Oh, I see. Okay. So you can singleton class using a function. Object literals. Objects properties and functions by initializing a variable with a comma separate list of property values. So as an object, I guess lime as well. Classes. Constructor. Polygon. Okay. Class expressions are another way to define a class. They can be either named or unnamed. Name given, unnamed class expression, polygon, equal class. Oh, I see. Okay. Hoisted. Reference before the declared, but class declarations are not. You declare a class before attempting to access it. Okay. And name class expression. Class polygon, unnamed. Oh wow. Constructor method. Super to call this constructor. Okay. Oh, that's exactly interesting. New polygon, square, get area. Super static methods. Static. Fair enough. How do you call it? Point. Yeah, just like in Java. Inheritance in Java. Extends. So JavaScript is very similar to Java. Calls using C super. We can use super dot. Or have you. You know. Yeah, super's pretty interesting. It's like a reference to the it's like a reference to this this super class. Okay. True. No, this is supposed to be false. That's actually, this needs to be, oops, whoa. I don't know what I just did, but this actually is the wrong symbol. Okay. So how do we add an area method to the rectangle class prototype? I don't actually know how to do that. Class. Declarations. Class expressions. Excuse me. Prototype methods. So there's a global this object, so you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Oh, I see. So you can add so this is incorrect. This is incorrect. You can add, I think, rectangle dot prototype dot area equals function, maybe, or actually really it's just W. I think this is what we want. We just say extends rectangle and constructor WH super WH. I actually don't know. Alright, there we go, that's what we want. Wrong answer. 12, 12, nan, 9. What are we doing here? Stringify properties, stringify else -1, -1, area, rectangle, square, new rectangle, new square. Oh, I see. So we override. Okay. Call this length. We'll just do length. How about that? So that one works, or should be correct. So we overrode the constructor. Interesting. That's kind of neat. So you can actually add, using the prototype, you can actually add functions. You can add functions to a class. It's kind of neat. Oh no! Ooh, which one's missing? Oh, come on, really? Thought there might be something I miss. Mr., Mrs., Ms., Dr., ER. Oh no, man. I didn't miss any of these. What could it be? Well, I know we can do, we can console.log. Oh, no, we can't, can we? We can actually read line and do it that way. You ready? Watch this. This is kind of hacked. We can read the input before the rest of the program does. It'll crash, but it'll work. Yeah, there you go. Input. Oh no. Oh, that's interesting. Well, if you run it on the other test cases, it should come out. Even though they're hidden. You see that? Oh no, wait. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Okay. Oh, I thought it might. Oh, we don't. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Did it work? I don't know. I'm confused now. Yeah, it did print, but I guess I don't get to see the output on the hidden test cases. I don't know, man. How are you? Like, who knows? This is supposed to work, but I don't know what the issue is. this one's probably fine. So this one's not correct on something. Who knows, dude? Oh, followed by one or more letters. Oh, I didn't realize that. Duh. Okay. Got it. Didn't realize. Oh, it's gotta be a letter, not just any character either. I missed that part. That's my fault. Alright, let's go to the next one. Create a button. Okay. How are we doing? Alright, let's go for it. Practice creating buttons in JavaScript. Check out the attached tutorial for learning materials. Complete the code in the editor so that it creates a clickable button satisfying the following properties. The button's ID is button. The button's initial text label is 0. After each click, the button must increment by 1. Recall that the button's next text label is the JS object's inner HTML property. The button has the following style properties. Following style properties. A width of 96 pixels, a height of 48 pixels. The font size attribute is 24 pixels. Code in the editor so that it creates a clickable button satisfying the following properties. The button's ID is button. The button's initial text label is 0. After each click, increment by 1. Can you show me an example? Oh man, this is intimidating. No, what do you, okay, we need to see, what is this? False. Wrong answer. Wait, why is this false? What? Are you kidding me? One or more letters. This should be true. What do you mean this is false? This is some... Oh, I guess it's... What? I'm so confused. The remainder of the string consists of one or more upper and or lowercase English alphabetic characters. So confused. So I probably should have read the whole thing. I don't know why I didn't do that. So they're gotta be all upper or lowercase. Okay, I think I get it. I think I see the issue. So they're either all uppercase or all lowercase. So it's either one or the other. Okay, I think that's what we want. I don't know, let's see what happens. Oh man, what is going on? Oh, they're all up. Oh, I see. I think this has to be at the end. I think that's so confusing. It's really tricky. But I'm grateful that we went through it. There we go. Okay, I think this is what we want. Oh man, come on. What is going on? What? Maybe it's this that we need. How about that? I don't know. I don't actually know the behavior. Come on, man. It's like, what could it be? What is it? Why is this? Wait, no, this is true? What? Oh, come on. Excuse me. This is obnoxious. Okay, I get it. I finally understand what they're asking. But this has happened to me a few times at Hackerrank where like I just don't understand what they're asking. And it's a nuisance. It's really annoying. Alright, let's try again. Okay, got it. All right, fine. Failed that a bunch of times, but I didn't really read the whole thing. But even this is like kind of hard to read. One or more upper and or lower. Oh, it is and or. Okay, I did miss that. All right, just not spending enough time reading it. Fair enough. Fine. Practice creating buttons in JavaScript. Check out the attached tutorial for learning materials. Complete the code in the editor so that it creates a clickable button. Satisfy the following properties. Button's ID is button. Label is 0. Increment by 1 each click. Recall that the button's text label is the JS object's inner HTML property. Interesting. Button has the following style properties. Width of 96 pixels, height of 48 pixels, font size attribute is 24 pixels. JS and CSS files are in different directories, so use the link tag to provide the CSS file path and script tag to provide the JS file path. Actually, I don't know if I can get food now. It might be too late. That might be closed. Uh-oh. I have to look up places that are still open. I think I still have food. Actually, I think I have food. I think we're okay. I think we're all right, but definitely not ideal. Oh yeah, okay. We still have food. We're fine. But I have to remember that to get food before it gets too late. Submissions is a new style of challenge involving front-end rendering. It may take up to 10 seconds to see the result of your code. Please be patient after clicking submit. The submissions page contains screenshots. Help you gauge what you did. Ask questions and submit any bugs. Okay. Looks like 0, 4 clicks, it looks like that, 5 clicks, looks like that. Alrighty. So you have index HTML, button JS. This is pretty nifty. So render, what does it look like? Should be really nothing there, but this is kind of neat. Oh, my, okay. I'm okay, I'm just trying to do this as quickly as I can, I suppose. I do have some food, so that should be fine. That should be fine. Okay. Oh. Have some milk. So I don't know how much more we have to go. I don't think too much. Oh, okay. The other one sent me the same place too. Career fair. Neat. Oh, that's interesting. It's not new on this page, but it's new on this page. Huh. Interesting. Still have quite a few left. Alright, well actually maybe we should mix and match these a bit more. Let's do let and const. So these are button, CSS, okay. So here we go. We want to, yeah, we want this in our HTML. In the body, we want script, oh. Okay, this goes in the head. Style sheet. This should be in the body, by the way. It should not be in the head. Oh, this is the title. I'm sorry. That's fine. This is fine where that is. And there we go. So we have our script, which gets executed, body, and then our head, and we want to have a button CSS, and button. So I think, okay, we can give an ID to a button. We can put the button right in the HTML. That's fine. Okay, Oh, we need to look up HTML button. Buttons. Who doesn't love buttons? Game dev phaser. It's not a sprite that we're looking for. We're looking for just an HTML button. Well, this is a JavaScript, right? We're actually looking for HTML, not JavaScript anymore. So we have somewhere in here isn't there a button somewhere in here? Am I crazy? Does HTML not have buttons? Is it not HTML? Am I crazy? Actually, what does their tutorial say about buttons? Where do they get their buttons from? I don't recall. I would use like React and Bootstrap and things for, oh, there's a button tag. Oh, there is a button tag, okay. I thought there would be, but why, how come I don't see it here? Oh, okay, maybe it's not. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was just a few of them, not all of them. Okay. Button class type. And give an ID too, I think. Let's just do button. And oh, it's inner HTML for button. Oh, I see. Do we really want? We don't want to change the inner HTML. It's kind of not good to do that. Change inner HTML for a button. But we're going to. So 0, I said. Button. And then want to change the inner HTML. Yeah, it's not ideal. Okay. Okay. Now we want to click it a few times on the button. So what we want to do is have width and height style properties. Font size attribute. So this is CSS. And we want, I think we just do a button. I think it's just hash, or pound symbol, hash symbol. With 96 pixels. Height, 48 pixels. And font size. Okay. Alright. We get that? No, doesn't work that way. Okay, let's see. We want CSS. How do we specify our styling text? Is it? I don't remember. Do you need these? I guess maybe you need those. I don't remember needing these. Does that make a difference? It's just basic syntax I'm looking for. Selectors, yeah, selectors, that's what I'm looking for. This is the whole class, selects for all the classes. Excuse me. Based on where it is, number of selectors that help you. To 7 combinator, oh right. The location, relative location, they mean. Ancestors and descendants and things. There's adjacent sibling combinator. Okay, interesting. Yeah, CSS is kind of crazy. Quite involved. Styling things based on state. Target these different states. Pink and green. Okay, so you can use the anchor and you can link and visit it. Use link and visit it by using a colon. Okay. Hover as well. Removing the underline. Interesting. It's kind of fun. I think there's a way to select, can combine combinators and selectors. Isn't there a way to select on just the element ID? There is something important here. It's quite a bit with CSS. Web font styling, links that list fundamental text and font styling. Debugging CSS, organizing your CSS, images, media, form element, sizing items, values and units, overflowing content, handling different text directions, backgrounds and borders, the box model, CSS select. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. We need another 30 minutes. Okay. Yeah. All right. You can combine the greatest selected list, apply to all the individual selections, have the same CS for each one, and for dot special you can write these as 2 separate rules, or you can combine them into one with a comma. And before or after the comma. Okay. Type selectors. Oh, okay. This is gibberish here. Type selectors, span, strong EM. Okay. So this one will be ignored, this one won't. Combine neither. Add class and type class and ID. Yeah, so this is ID. This is what I'm trying to do. Attribute selectors. Certain attribute on element. Pseudo class and pseudo elements. Group includes pseudo classes, which style certain element states of an element. That's great. I like that. Pseudo elements which select a certain part of an element rather than the element itself. For example, first line always selects the first line of text inside an element. A P in the below case acting as if a span was wrapped around the first formatted line and selected. Excuse me. So you can use pseudo elements, the pseudo classes. And the pseudo classes give you access to different states. Interesting. Combinators. Okay. So, but this is the thing. I did this correctly. Unique this button. Oh yeah. Okay, it works. Oh, that was okay. I did that. That was what I was trying to figure out. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you can do it this way. And now we want to click the button. There should be like an on-click, I think, which would be something like, I don't know, what does this button have on-click? Form is maybe what I'm looking for. No, maybe, I don't know. Clickable button. Oh. Does it do anything? Oh. What does this do? Button is a submit button. It's inside associated with the form. Doesn't have a type button. Attribute specifies HTTP method used to submit the form. Possible values, post and get. Form action. Form. Disabled autofocus. But what do you do when you? How do you? So I know in JavaScript, not JavaScript, in React, I want to say, or React Bootstrap, or what have you. There's like an on-click method that we add to our buttons or HTML. That's the thing I'm kind of wondering. How do they even do that in the first place? How do they build these libraries? I don't actually know how they do it. But one thing I was wondering is, how do I use the button? That I actually don't know. Don't know. Form element to associate the button with its form owner. The value of this attribute must be the ID of a form. In the same document, this attribute is not set. The button is associated with its ancestor form element, if any. This attribute lets you associate button elements to forms anywhere in the document, not just inside a form. It can also override an ancestor form element. Form action, the URL that processes the information submitted by the button overrides the action attribute of the button's form owner. Does nothing if there is no form owner. Button is a submit button. It's inside associated with the form and doesn't have type button. Specifies how to encode the form data that is submitted. Specifies encoding type. Alright, that's fine. Button is a submit button. It's inside associated with the form and doesn't have a type button. And this attribute specifies the HTTP method used to submit the form. Possible values. Form no validate. Form target. This attribute is an author-defined name or standardization. Underscore prefix keyword indicating where to display the response from submitting the form. This is the name of or keyword for a browsing context. Tab, window, or iframe. This attribute is specified. It overrides the target attribute of the button's form owner. Following keywords have special meanings. Self, blank, parent, top. I don't really know. Load the response into a new unnamed browsing context. New tab or window. Interesting. Name, type, submit, reset button. There's no behavior and does nothing when pressed by default. It can have client-side scripts listen to the elements events which are triggered when the events occur. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so you can specify a button listener. Huh. Oh. The element receives a click event when a pointing device such as a mouse's primary mouse button is pressed and released while the pointer is located inside the element. On click, the button is pressed on one element, the pointer is moved outside the element before the button is released. The event is fired on the most specific ancestor element that contained both elements. Fires after both the mouse down and mouse up events have fired in that order. Mouse event passed into the event handler for click has its detailed properties set. So run Firefox, but document, query selector, button, add event listener. Oh, okay. Excuse me. There you go. Huh. Let's try that. Oh, my body. Interesting. So this is unique to browsers, right? Obviously, you don't have query selecting like this in, in Node.js. Yeah, what does this do? So the document interface represents any web page loaded in the browser and inserts an entry point into the web page's content, which is the DOM tree. Document tree, that makes sense. The DOM tree, I think it stands for something else. Document object model, there you go. Okay, we have a lot of reading to do, plenty of reading. Document interface represents any web page loaded in the web browser, and the browser serves as an entry point into the web page's document content, which is the DOM tree. The DOM tree includes elements such as body and table, among many others. It provides functionality globally to the document, like how to obtain the page's URL and create new elements in the document. Okay, I think I get it. The document interface describes the common properties and methods for any kind of document. Depending on the document's type, HTML, XML, SVG, a larger API is available. HTML documents served with text HTML content type also implement the HTML document interface, whereas XML and SVG documents implement the XML document interface. Constructor document properties, active element, body, children, compatibility modes. There's a lot. I mean, the document's basically the whole DOM, really. HTML document, cookie, default view, directory, domain, last modified location, ready state, refer, title, URL. There's a lot. A lot to read. Anchors, applets, BG color, character set, FG color, full screen, height, input encoding, last style sheet set. I'm looking for methods though. Adopt node from an external document, append, inserts a set of node objects or DOM string objects after the last child of the document, capture events, window capture events, deprecated, non-standard, caret position from point, caret position object, I'm not sure what the caret's referring to, caret range from point, create attribute NS, create C data section, create comment, create document fragment, create element NS, create entity reference, create event, create node iterator, create processing instructions. I don't know what all these things are. Box quads, animations, pointer lock, element by ID. Oh, okay, element by class name, elements by tag name, elements by tag name NS, selection, turns the selection object representing the range of text selected by the user. Oh, okay, the current position of the caret. I think the current position of the caret might be, I think the caret is actually this thing, like if you're typing, where the caret is. Storage access, import node, prepend, query selector, specified selectors. So interesting, so you can query selectors as well, instead of Element by ID. Oh, okay. So you can get elements using selectors, selector all, specified selectors, a list, the first element, all of them. Oh, that's really interesting. We need element by ID though, that's all we need. We gave our button an ID, and we're going to say, I guess document doesn't need to be caps. Do we? I guess we need this too. I don't know. Now this is JavaScript, so I think we do want this. This must be a string. So now we get our button, and then we add an event listener to our button. Okay, so now we're in business. So we're actually manipulating the DOM now in our JavaScript. That's how the whole thing with websites and web pages works. Is you interface with the with the browser through the DOM. So that's really interesting. Okay, fair enough. So add event listener, click event, and you can use this syntax for functions in JavaScript as opposed to this other syntax, which is what I would probably use. You can use this too. And then text context, so actually we want my button. Does it have text content? They said inner HTML is what we want to change. And we're going to say, just update that to an integer. By the way, this part is, I guess, this will just perform evaluation or interpolation. So you get your event.detail. I don't know what's in the event object in a button click, but we can say let click count equals 0, and we're going to say inner HTML is going to be sort of plus click count, I think, something like this. Let's render, see what happens. This challenge we practice declaring variables using let and const keywords. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. Declare a constant variable pi and assign the value of math pi. You will not pass this challenge unless the variable is declared as a constant and named pi. Read a number r denoting the radius of a circle from standard in. Use pi and r to calculate the area and perimeter of a circle having radius r. Print area as the first line of output and print perimeter as the second line of output. So by the way, we have a better understanding now of what's going on with this JavaScript. It seems that this process variable is, I guess it's part of the DOM interface then, and this is probably provided for us. And so this code, when it's executed in the browser, this process object, I guess, yeah, this receives standard input. Now, I don't know where the standard input's coming from. That's the thing. It's like, there aren't too many places you can enter input into a front end. I mean, yeah, well, I don't know where this is coming from, the standard in for a browser. I don't know. I just don't know. But this gives us a hint that it looks like these are these are being registered as events, I guess. I don't really know. Anyway. So what do we have? Can we at least console.log hello world? Does it happen here? Syntax error. I don't know. Oh, whoops. This is already defined for us, I think. Excuse me. Read declaration. I don't see anything showing up in the... I don't know, I'm really confused. Hackerrank, look at that. It's good. My button is null. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. What? Oh, that's why it's null. That's confusing. Nope, that's not why. What is going on? Okay, let's do this. How about that? HTML document. All right, there you go. We got it. We got the document. First element child. I'm looking for my button is null. How did that happen? How did that happen? So the document's a real thing, but get element by ID button doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it should just be button. Oh, that is why. Yeah, that's actually exactly why. It's because the ID is button. Duh. Oh boy, that's funny. Wait, still no? Why is it still no? Really? What is going on? Oh, there we go. Ah, it's working. Okay. I was so confused. Yeah, that's exactly what we were expecting. Okay, sweet. Nice. That's what we wanted. Okay. Oops. Okay. Clickable button satisfying the following properties. Its ID is button. Text is 0. Increment by 1. Need an HTML. Following properties. Width and height. Got it. New style challenge. Front end rendering. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. And render again. And I don't know. I guess we just submit and continue. I don't know if there's a way to check it. I don't know how that works. Single integer r, radius of the circle. Read a number r as the radius. Use pi and r to calculate the area and perimeter of a circle having radius r. Print area is the first line of output, and print perimeter is the second line of output. So you have two outputs, area and perimeter. Only two lines. R is a floating point number scaled at most 3 decimal places. Okay. Do they give us pi anywhere? Or do we need to redefine? Correctly declare pi? Oh, I see how they did that. Okay. Okay, so sure. And well, we'll do 3.14, I guess. I don't know. Area of the circle, console.log. Area is pi r squared, right? I can actually do that too. And the perimeter. Yeah, it's pi 2r or pi d, if I remember correctly. Oh. Do they not have like the pi constant? Let's find out. Let's take a look. Math.pi, okay. Got it. Let's try that one. How did we do here? Accept and open an editor. Okay. Oh, this is really cool. So result, success, 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 success. Wow, look at this. That's neat. So, okay. And we submitted it. Alrighty. I don't know. Go, 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 go. So what happens when this one succeeds? 10 points. Moving on. Buttons container. Okay, let's pick a different one, actually. We can come back to the buttons container. Alright. Conditional if else. So it looks like we got it. But the question is, what do you do now? I'm wondering day 8 if it counts as solved. Oh yeah, we got it. That's it. Okay. Alright, in this challenge we learned about if-else statements. Check out the attached tutorial for more details. Complete the get grade score function in the editor. If it has one parameter integer score denoting the number of points usually earned on an exam, it must return the letter corresponding to a grade according to the following rules. If 25 is less than the score is less than or equal to 30, then grade equals A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I'm going to use if else for each of these. Okay. Sure. This is kind of a classic thing. Alright. 25 to 30, and then it's down 5 points everywhere since then. A, B, C, D, and F. So you can actually say, you can actually make this a little bit easier. Instead of using if else's, you can say, because their gradient is 5, you can say scores. The way you would do it actually is something like the gradient is 5. So you would do scores is equal to an array of A. You can actually even do better than that. A through to F. I don't know if there's a way to get or actually no, let's not do that. Let's do whoops. Let's say the ordinality and the cardinality character. Yeah, let's see if we can do. I think we need a new window, so I want to say JavaScript character to int or to ASCII value. Yeah, then we want to go backwards too. Character.codat. Okay. I want to read each of these things, but okay. And now I want to go back the other direction too. So let's go to string then. From code point, there we go. So we have created by using specified sequence of code points. So we can use character at and character code at and code point at. Yeah. These are almost the same thing. Character at, so this gives you the code unit. Need a little more time. String representing the character. Okay. That's interesting. So these, yeah, so the other way you can get the code point and you can get the character, and then you can actually do, you can from code point return the string, and you can use a single code point, single integer. So that's pretty interesting. Excuse me. So that's what I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to say, you can say a, so let val equal, or just constant val, a dot code point at, really, yeah, 0, and then what you're going to say is, depending on the score, so you say const gradient, so you're going to say const, I guess difference is going to be score divided by the gradient. So every 5 points you're going to decrement another, so it's actually going to be 30 minus the score. Let's say your score was 24, right? Divided by its gradient as an integer. That'll actually give you you're actually going to return val plus the difference, and you're going to say string code point from character code, from code point. I don't know if these are the same things. I don't know what this will do, but whoops. Sequence of Unicode values, sequence of code points. Okay, so these are almost the same thing. These are similar, character code and code point. I guess we'll just pick a random one. What's the issue? Submission invalid code point 68.8. Okay, and this we actually want to convert this to an integer. So we want to use floor. Let's try that. Floor is not a function. Okay. Yeah, math.floor is what we want. Okay. Something like this. Oh, it worked. Not actually expecting that. So the way the idea is that each difference from 30 constitutes another grade point difference. So 30 minus 25 gives you 5, divided by gradient gives you 1. That's 1 grade point. We take the floor because if you have more than 5 but not enough to get the next point, then you still get that B. So if you had like 9 from 30 is 21, or even 9, then you only get, it's only 1. And then if you got all the way down to 4, so 30 minus 4 is 26, divided by 5 gives you 5, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think this is correct. I could try this. So you use code points to do this without using if statements, which I prefer. I think that's better. We don't actually need this line either. We could put this right here, and we could actually replace both of these with their respective values. So we could just one line this. So it would be diff would be this whole thing. For readability, I think this is better, but we can just make that a 5, and then val can be this code point. And really this ends up being what we're after. So I kind of prefer that. If you can one line it, it's pretty good. Alright, let's see. So in this challenge we practice using JavaScript template literals. Check the attached tutorial for more details. The code in the editor, it has a tagged template literal that passes the area and perimeter of a rectangle to a tag function named sides. Recall that the first argument of a tag function is an array of string literals from the template, and the subsequent values of the template's respective expression values complete the function in the editor so that it does the following. Finds the initial values of s sub 1 and s sub 2 by plugging the area and perimeter values in the formula, where a is the rectangle's area and p is its perimeter. This looks like a quadratic formula. Creates an array consisting of s sub 1 and s sub 2 and sorts it in ascending order, returns the sorted array. Input format, the first line contains an integer denoting s sub 1, the second line contains an integer denoting s sub 2. Constraints 1, s sub 1, s sub 2, 100. Output format, return an array consisting of s sub 1, s sub 2 sorted in ascending order. Sample input, sample output, block code. Passes the following arrays to the tag function. The value of literals is this, the area is, the perimeter is, the value of expressions, where the first value denotes the rectangle's area. Plug those in our formula, getting the following, store those in the array, sort the array, and return the sorted array is our answer. Okay, sure. I guess, well, that okay. Okay. What's the input? Just s sub 1, s sub 2. We don't really need. I'm so confused. What are these? What? What are these? Template literals? Formerly known as template strings or string literals that allow for embedded expressions. We typically use them to express strings spanning multiple lines or string interpolation, which essentially allows us to create a template with one or more placeholders for inserting variable text at a later time. Traditional strings are wrapped in single or double quotes. Template literals are wrapped in backtick characters. The template literal can contain placeholders which are preceded by a $sign and wrapped in curly braces. For example, in the template literal expression, the expression text between the placeholders is passed to a function. The default function simply concatenates the template literals parts into a single string. Anytime we see an expression preceding a template literal, we call the expression a tag, and the template literal string tagged template literal. In these instances, we call it, what a confusingly long name, but okay, anyway, that's fine. Whatever, you know, call it whatever you want. What a name. In these instances, we call the tag expression typically a function with the processed template literal, which we can then manipulate before outputting the final string. Multi-line strings. Okay, example, print a multi-line string using normal tags. Multi-line string using template literals, first line, second line. Okay, regardless of what approach we use, output's the same. Interpolation using normal strings. Template literals. Oh, okay, so the inner, oh, we need a little more time than this. Let me respond to my friend too. Okay. Sum of A and B is 5, product of A and B is 6. Right, so a tag literal, you can evaluate the expression and then it's placed right there in the string with the result. Okay, that's interesting. I think I get it. Tag template literals. Foo, sum, product, division. Foo, strings, values. So this is unpacking values. Or packing. Actually, I still need to check what this does. What does this do? Let's look at that now. What is this operator? Oh. Where is the... There's like a ... operator. I can't find it now. Oh. Okay. Template literals. Looking for I don't know, standard objects. Let's do expressions and operators. Should be in here somewhere. Also, what does this do? The equality, strict equality in JavaScript. What is it? Nullish coalescing operator. I just have to check these things. There's another operator here. Where is it? There it is. Spread syntax. Okay. Allows an iterable, such as an array expression or string, to be expected in places where when 0 or more arguments or function calls or elements for array literals are expected, or an object expression to be expanded in places where 0 or more key value pairs for object literals are expected. Some XYZ could be ... numbers. Spread syntax. Just very similar to the ellipsis in C++, which does a similar thing, which is it's not just spread syntax, but it's parameter packing. That's what it is. Yeah, spread syntax with parameter packing. Function calls. So here's a function call. You pass all the elements as arguments. Arrays, combine two arrays by asserting all of these elements. Object literals, pass all key value pairs from an object. Rest syntax, which is similar to spread syntax. It's the opposite. Spread syntax expands an array into its elements. Rest syntax collects multiple elements and condenses them into single elements. Rest parameters. Spread and function calls replace apply. So apply null args. Common to use function prototype apply in cases where you want to use the elements of an array as arguments to a function. So you can use apply, you use spread syntax. You can use any argument in the argument list can use spread syntax, and spread syntax can be used multiple times. Fair enough. -1, 2, 3. Apply for new operator. Sure. Without syntax, you'd have to do it indirectly through partial application. Oh, dude, that's evolved. Partial application is not a. We were going over that earlier yesterday. I really need to stop though. I think I need to get some sleep. Spread and array literals. That's fine. Copy an array. But we want rest syntax. That's what we're looking for. Only for iterables. Spread with many values. Rest parameters. Accept an indefinite number of arguments as an array. Okay. Providing a way to represent variadic functions in JavaScript. Okay. And it's the same. So this is rest parameters are for variadic functions, and spread syntax is for it's basically parameter unpacking. So okay, very good. Cause all remaining parameters be placed in an array. Only the last parameter function definition can be a rest parameter. Okay. One, wrong, arg, correct. Okay, good. That's what we want to know. What is this thing? Nullish coalescing operator is a logical operator that returns its right-hand side operator when its left-hand side operand is null or undefined, and otherwise returns on its left-hand side. I like this operator, but this is interesting. So right-hand side, when it's left-hand side, is null or undefined. Otherwise, it's left-hand side. So if the left-hand side is null, it returns the right-hand side. It's going to be contrasted with a logical OR, which returns the right-hand side operand if the left-hand side is any falsy value, but not only null or undefined. Use OR to provide some default value to another variable. You may encounter unexpected behaviors if you consider some falsy values as usable, like these two. Oh, okay. So I've seen that before too, the OR and yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that before. The strict equality operator checks whether its operands are equal, returning a Boolean result. Unlike the equality operator, strict equality operator always considers operands of different types to be different. Okay, that's interesting. That's kind of unusual. Template literals is what we were just reading. Grave accent, it's the backtick. Multi-line strings. Expression interpolation. Nesting templates. Configurable strings. Placeholder within the template. If condition is true, return this template literal. Template literals and without nesting. Large screen. Oh, that's interesting. So you'd have classes, header, plus equals is a large screen. And you have a few of these ternary operators. And this item is collapsed, expander, collapsed, collapser, but otherwise you can do this. Looks like the same thing, really. This expression is in one spot. You don't need the plus equals, I guess. With nested template literals, you can say it's large screen, icon. Oh, that's interesting. Expander, collapser. Oh, I see. In other words, you can nest these twice. So you can interpolate here and interpolate here. That's kind of, I like that. Okay, interesting. Tagged templates, more advanced form template literals are tagged templates. Parse template literals with a function. The first argument of a tag function contains an array of strings. The remaining arguments are related to the expressions. Tag function can perform whatever operations on these arguments you wish, and then return the manipulated string. Alternatively, you can return something completely different. As described in one of the following examples, the name of the function used for the tag can be whatever you want. My tag, we can even return a string built using a template literal. My tag that Mike is a youngster. Tag functions don't even need to return a string. So a function, my tag, string s, person s, exp, person expression, age expression, Mike age. Output my tag. That person is a. Oh, that's really interesting. So the function takes a string literal. That Mike is a youngster. And you have string s, strings, person expression, age expression. Not really sure what this does. That is a. Okay, I see everything that's not the variables, I guess. Return a string built using a template literal. String 0, 1, 2. And then you return the string, so depending on the age, if they're greater than 99, centenarian, otherwise youngster. And the person expression, we just plop that right in. 0, 1, person, using a template literal to return that string. Age string, string 2. Okay, that's interesting. So these are tag functions that you can do, perform. Tag functions don't even need to return a string. So template returns another function. Oh dude, this is just confusing. What's going on here? Oh boy. No. There's T1 closure equals template 010. Come on, man, what is this? T1 closure B template. What is going on here? And this gives you yay. It's template strings keys. Oh boy. So the keys you get 010. This returns this thing, which is a function, and this function is a variadic function of values, and what it's going to do is to make a dictionary of the last value or empty, if it exists, right? And then result is strings of 0. So create this dictionary. Oh boy. Of values. And let me say keys that for each. Oh wow. Function key I. Let value. Number is integer key. Values key, dictionary key. Result push value strings I. Join. Oh, it's involved. This is involved. Now this is actually on, I think, a higher order function, right? So 010, I think I understand what this does, but yeah, 010 gives you each character in your list of keys. So T1 closure is going to be YA, gives you 0, YAY, right? T2 closure, we're just going to say first character and foo. So our keys are the first one, and foo is a key in the dictionary. So hello and world. Oh, I see. You have to map foo to something, and then that'll concatenate the first one. And oh, I see. Very interesting. So you can use that's why the dictionary because it could be. Oh, I see. Okay. It's both an array and also. It's so confusing, but it's. I think I understand. So if you're dealing with an integer, then that's going to be the key. So values key or dictionary key, whether or not the key is an integer. It's so confusing. So confusing. Wow. And you push, and then take your results and join it. So this actually gives you a function template, rather a tag function. So this will actually give you a tag function based off of the so you can use a tag function to generate another tag function. You can use it as a higher order function. That's what's going on here. And it seems to do both, mapping either the index into these strings that you provide, the keys, or you have a key element that you hash to that particular string. So that's how this is being put together. So a template, I'm name, I'm almost age years old, right? And then what you end up with is oh, and there's also an exclamation point. Forgot about that too. So 0 foo exclamation point at the end. Hello world at the end. or yeah, you append foo. So here you have, it's going to be so name and age. So foo is not used, and name and age, so MDN and 30 are accessed in the hash map, and then similarly this is the same one. So these are both the same, but you can put whatever you want in the beginning. Oh boy, that's astounding. You have to really like sit and think about what does this do. So you have strings and keys, variadic function, so all these different keys. These are all 0, 1, 0, the keys. And then you're going to have this function where you take a sequence of values, right? It's a variadic function of values, which are strings or even hash elements, I guess. So the dictionary is going to be the last element, or okay, I see. The last element is a hash table that you give it a hash map, and then the result is going to be the first string. Strings is 0, right? Which is the first string in the set of strings, so if there is one, which is provided right when you create in the first place. So sort of the beginning part, if it exists, and then well, actually, what's interesting is that actually you could have, this kind of gets a little bit strange. If you put this to the right here, it'll actually end up on the left side, which is a bit peculiar. So then you say, okay, for each key in keys, I don't know that you should start this actually. I think this should be empty initially, believe it or not. Value is going to be if the key is an integer, which in these cases it is, but if it's not an integer, then you're going to look up in the dictionary. If it is integer, then you're going to directly grab one of the values that you've been given. So that's really interesting. So you should have a sequence of key, values and then a hash map, and then you're going to push the result value strings of I plus 1, which is oh, I see. You actually interpolate this with the next string if it exists. It's actually pushing two things. I think push might be variadic as well. One or more elements. Okay, so you could push multiple elements. Oh, I see. It is variadic. That's what I was thinking. And then, so actually you push both of these. So you push this value and the next string. That's really interesting. So actually, it's somewhat interpolated, right? You push this thing and then you push the next, whatever comes next. So, oh, I see. And then it actually gives you. So these strings are actually empty strings. Oh. So you do want the first one, which is empty, and then you push 1, 2, oh, okay, that's really interesting. And then you join everything at the end. Oh. Because this will be empty, actually. I didn't realize that in the templated string. Wow. That's a really nifty function. So you don't need to return a string. You could return a, it could be a higher order function, a higher order tag function. Okay, I see now. I see. Really nifty. All right, I really need to go to sleep. I think I probably have to call it here. But yeah, I'm glad I read the docs on that one. More than the number of total cooked expressions. Substitutions, returns a manipulated string. So this is a tag function. Yeah, interesting. Okay, anyway, so we don't need to stay on that. How are we doing in terms of how many problems are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still 8 left. It's quite a bit. It's quite a few. Let's just let's go to sleep. Let's go to sleep. Let's finish this one and then go to bed. I think it's fine. I think it's all right. All right. So locked code passes the following arrays to this tag to the tag function. Value of literals. The area is comma dot backslash n. The perimeter is comma dot. I'm so confused. The tag function, literals expression. So these are tag functions. Basically, we're going to write a tag function. Determine the original side length and return an array. The first element is the length of the shorter side. Longer side parameters, literals, tag template, literals array of strings, expressions, tag template, literals array of expression values, array perimeter, literals expressions, sides. So sides of the area is this one, the perimeter is this one, and console.log s1 equals x or s1 equals -1. What are we doing? So, oh, I see. So we just want to return s1 times s. Okay. So they're saying this is so confusing. They want to pass in s1 is the perimeter, and s2 is also perimeter. Do we calculate the area and the? Oh yeah, okay, I see the area and the perimeter both calculated. Right. I get it. So they calculate the area and the perimeter here. Area is s1 times s2. Perimeters twice. S1 plus s2 for rectangles, and then what they're looking for is this s1 s2, which is, what is this? This is s1 s2. Is this just from the area and the perimeter? We want to calculate. Oh, I see. Given the area and the perimeter, we want to calculate the original values. That's what's being suggested, and then sort those two values, x and y. Okay, got it. Sure. All right. So we don't really care about the literals. We just care about the expressions. Or actually, no, we do want. We have like a result. We'll say. Alrighty. We'll use a result vector as well. Do a similar thing that we just saw before. And we want to say for each expression. I guess we do it this way. We have, yeah, starts off literals, 0. Pretty much do it the same way we just saw it. Say expressions for each. Oops, no. This is different from Ruby. Ruby would have the, we could use the syntax. Ruby would have a block, just a little bit different syntax from JavaScript. And we'd have, so there's an element and an index. Any index, void, array. Oh, there's a third one, which is another object, an array object. That's kind of odd. Not sure what that is, but okay. What we want to do is push there's an expression that we're going to add, and then we're also going to say literals of I plus 1. And I think if it's null, it won't push anything. So we'll push something here and then push the next one. And I actually think we don't really need to do it this way, do we? We can do it this way. I mean, we already know what this is going to look like, so we can do literals of 0. So we actually just do result. We can say let A be, what is this, P plus, yeah, okay. Let's do it this way. Let's do A, B, can you do, I think you can do structured binding. Yeah, you can do const AB is equal to, now the area and the perimeter. So we want area, perimeter of expressions. And then we're going to say, let's just say xy is equal to, oh no, we do both. So p plus p times p square root minus 16 times a p plus square root p squared minus divided by 4. Right. And then const y, and convert this to an integer, I think. Or just int. I don't actually know how to convert this to an integer. There's got to be a way. Y is the same thing. I think P is always larger. Yeah, I think P needs to be larger. Yeah, not necessarily. So, or rather X is larger, not P. So we really should do it the other way around. We don't want to do Y, X. We want X to come first. And then we want to say, one more issue is, want to convert these to integers, so let's do integer here. CSS. To int. Parse int. Not exactly what we're looking for. We want, it's not a string, it's a, like we want to, well, numbers, they're not necessarily integers, they're just numbers in JavaScript, so I don't really know. I think you may take the floor or something like that, I'm not really sure. But you can say, think I actually don't know what we're supposed to return here. I think you just return, I think you actually ignore the literals altogether and just return x, y. I'm not really sure. Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough. That's it's kind of interesting, but yeah, you can use a tag function, which is peculiar, but yeah, this is a little weird. I don't know about this. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna close some of these, I think. I guess buttons container, layout buttons inside a div, modify the labels after each click event on one of the buttons. Check out the attached tutorial for learning materials. Create 9 buttons enclosed in the div, laid out as they form a 3x3 grid. Each button has a distinct label from 1 to 9, and the labels on the other buttons must rotate in the clockwise direction each time we click the middle button. So, code in the editor. Initial criteria. Layout looks like this. Each element has an ID. Must be buttons. Div ID. Div's ID must be buttons. HTML is 1 through 9. Button ID is 1 through 9. Styling. Documents must have the following styles. 75% with body's width. With relative to container height. Behavior. Each time button 5 is clicked, the inner HTML text must rotate in the clockwise direction. Do not update the button IDs. That's interesting. So do you update the inner HTML? Oh, that's interesting. But you don't change the button IDs. And JS and CSS files are in different directories. After you click it once, you end up with 4, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 8, 7. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 8, 7, 4. Oh wow. That's really interesting. I like that. That's fun. I think what you would want to do is use just thinking of the function that you would use. Like if this was just a matrix of buttons, it's not, but if it were, how would you, you're rotating clockwise. If this was like one single array of buttons, also yeah, making sure that the buttons are in a 3x3, I think you need a div for the whole thing, or you need a div for each of the buttons. I'm not exactly sure how you would do that. It's like a CSS thing, I think, or HTML maybe with some CSS. I'm not really sure. And then the 3x3, yeah, that is that. And then the other issue would be how do you get the buttons to rotate? I think you can write a hash map to do that if you wanted to. Keep it simple, and basically you would know which what's tricky about that is like you can have a hash map of like which button this button's element is supposed to move to, and I guess you can kind of go backwards, or both directions are the same, but you would like this button value is going to end up here, and then that button value is going to end up there. And so I guess you just at each step, each iteration, you would know which button you're gonna modify next. And I think you just overwrite it. Actually, you overwrite it and you save it, and then you save the value that's there, and then overwrite it. And the value that's saved there, that becomes, then you look up the next one from that button, whatever has hash to that button. So you can modify it that way. and just kind of go one by all the way across until you reach the beginning again. Yeah, kind of a hard-coded hash. That's like the simplest way. Because you're naming every button with a kind of a unique ID, like an ID that's sort of somewhat, I don't know, it's not like an array or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could hash out, or not hash out, but parse out the ID from each button name in your JavaScript function. Presumably, I think you can grab the IDs, and then you can set up a sort of quote-unquote automatic hash that way, like a more programmatic way of doing this. Figuring out from each index what a clockwise rotation would look like. Like a more generalized approach to this would actually be to look at like a Cartesian rotation, a rotation in a Cartesian plane of like a two-dimensional object, what that might look like. And there's actually rotation matrices you can use for that. I think something like that. But yeah, because you can rotate an object like there's like a sort of center of mass that you have of an object. Like if you rotated this object from this point and rotate it, that's different from rotating from sort of this fixed point. Or yeah, rotating from one of the edges. But yeah, in a 2D space, you can actually pick a point to rotate the object around, which is kind of interesting. So there's that too. Like you'd have to kind of specify this is the point to rotate from, and then you're rotating everything, and you're actually rotating a full unit for everything as well, or 90 degrees rather. It's not even 90 degrees actually. You're rotating like, yeah, not 90 degrees. I don't even know how you'd specify it, but I don't really know actually how you would connect like two-dimensional matrix rotations to something like this. It's actually kind of a challenging thing. It has something to do with I don't even know how you express it. I guess it's just maths. Now you can do those things. I don't know those things offhand. I'd have to go look it up. I know you're just aware that you can do that kind of math. But yeah, pretty interesting. I should come back to these problems. I'm not gonna finish these now. I think I'm just gonna close all these tabs and go to sleep. Really interesting. A lot for me to learn in JavaScript. I mean, I knew that, but it's just, yeah. Oh, yes, also arrow function expressions. You can do just, yeah, these are basically like inline functions. Excuse me. Anonymous functions. Yeah, so. There's a lot more for me to learn about JavaScript though, obviously. Language proficiency matters a lot when you're programming things. Like during interviews, that's really when it really shines. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go. So, thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. And I don't really know what else I want to say here other than I really need to sleep. We didn't get through all the problems, and that's kind of my fault. I spent 4 hours talking to my friend. Wow, I really wanted to catch up with him. So there's that. Oh, actually, we're just short of one problem short of getting the next star. That's fine. Not a big deal. All right. Yeah, again, thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Also, I don't know how long I had my full screen up there. No, we're fine. Okay. All right, I'm going to go. Thanks again. Take care.